What's going up? What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing some programming in C. I'm going to be answering the Chapter 1 questions from the book Programming in ANSI C 7th edition. If you don't know what that book is, it looks a little something like this. The author is Balguruswamy, so the book will look something like this. If you have that book, then great. We'll be doing the same exercises for Chapter 1. So we're just going to go from 1.1 to, I forget how many questions there are, but we're going to be answering them. The first thing you need to do is figure out what to code on. So for me, I have this IDE. It's called Code Blocks. I think it's pretty good for beginners, and if you're a beginner, then make sure that you download this Code Blocks IDE. The reason I say this is that let's go to the website here. The reason I like Code Blocks is open source, meaning it's free, and cross-platform, meaning you can use it on Windows, Linux, and Mac. I have a Mac, as you can see here, but if you're on Windows, it's okay. I'll walk you through the Windows, how to download the Windows and for Macs. So if you have a Mac, just click on this and click on the sourceforge.net. If you're in Windows, click the Windows icon, and you want to click the MinGW setup. So we'll get into why later, but just make sure that you download this, as it'll help you compile your code much easier. It's much more easier to use for beginners. So click on SourceForge for Windows as well as Mac. So I was gonna do it for Mac because I have a Mac. So once you click here, it says the download will start in 5 seconds. I'm not gonna download it right now because I already have it. So once that happens, just unzip your zip file. It'll look something like this. Once you do that, it'll take you to a new screen. So I'm just going to exit out of this. Once you set up your code blocks, join me then. So if you have your code blocks, it's on your desktop or whatever, and you open it up, you are going to be getting something like, hold on, my computer's pretty slow right now, as you can see. Just wait for it to boot up. Yeah, so here we go. It's working. There. You'll get something like this. So I'm just going to increase this so it's easier to see. So what you want to do is that you want to go to create a new project right here. And you want to do a console application. This will let you, this is just no like add-ons or whatever, just a simple thing that lets you program in the console. So make sure you hit go, hit next. We are doing C because the book is called ANSI C, not C++. So we're going to be programming in C. Now for your project title. Now what I recommend here is that you create a new folder and title it something like here. I have one called C Learning. That's a good name for a title. I'm just going to call this C Tutorials in my desktop. So for my project title, again, I'm just going to do tutorials and save it in that new folder that I just created on my desktop called C Tutorials, and choose that. So there you have it. You now have a project. Just click finish here. No need to specify. So you'll open up this file called main.c, and if you're on a Mac or Windows, you make sure to hit Control and then scroll in. This will make it bigger or smaller. I'm just gonna make it a little big, and just so that's easier for you guys to see. So anyway, this is main.c. This is where you do your programming, and if you've been reading the book Programming in ANSI, you should have basic idea of the basic structure. And so now we're going to be going over the questions. So let me just flip to the right page. Okay, here we have it. What is the first question? Okay, so it says write a program to display the equation of a line in the form ax plus by equals c. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what he means by this, if we're supposed to take user input or not, But let's spice this up a little. Let's take some user input. We're going to be using scanf to take user input. So we have our libraries, we have our main function. Now all we have to do is give the user a prompt. Let's say something like enter the value for A. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to be prompting the user to write it in such a form like y equals mx plus b, and then we can convert it to ax plus by equals c. Okay, we're doing some math. So let's just get this in a comment. Okay, so to do this, we need to ask the user for a couple of things. First thing we want to ask for is the slope. So we're going to write what is the slope of your equation, and we're just going to leave it like that. Next, we have to create a variable to store the slope in. So what we're going to do is we're going to create two separate variables. The first one is going to be the numerator, and we're just going to declare that as 0 for now, and the denominator. Denominator, whatever, I can't spell, so denominator. Alright, so we have our print statement. Now we need to scanf. So for scanf, we want to save the numerator in numerator, and make sure don't forget your ampersand in front of the numerator. Next, for denominator, hold on, let's just add numerator here, of the slope of your equation. Now let's ask them for the denominator. What is the denominator of the slope of your equation? And just for sake of spelling, dang, I really can't spell this word right now. Okay, whatever. If you know how to spell it, comment down below. Call me stupid, I don't really care. Now, we gotta have a scanf to store that value into our variable that we just created called denominator. How nice. Alright, so now we have the user's numerator and user's denominator, and I'm just going to make sure that we put this on a new line for some clarity. Okay, so now that we have that, we have the numerator and the denominator, we have the slope. So we can calculate int slope equals numerator. Actually, let's make this a float because I don't want it to be bad. Make it an int, whatever. Numerator over denominator. Actually, you know what? Whatever. We'll do that later. We need to get the y-intercept now. So now we need to create another variable called y-int, short for y-intercept, and ask them again what the y-intercept will be. What is the intercept? And new lines to go around. Scanf %d and %, what do we have to say? Y-int. Okay, so now we have all that. Time for the final print statement. Printf. The equation is, remember, we have to get it in the form y equals mx plus b, right? So of course we're going to start it off with y equals. Now for m, if you don't know already, m is slope. So we have the numerator, we have the denominator of the slope. So what we want to do is we want to display that. You could put some brackets here and put %d for numerator over %d for the denominator, and close this up, plus y-intercept. Put that on a new line. Now we have to insert the values, so you go numerator, denominator, and y int. Okay. Oh wait, sorry. This is supposed to be %d. %d. Alright. So this looks okay. Let's see how it runs. Build and run. Alright, what is the numerator of this Linear equation? My numerator is going to be, let's say, 5. Denominator, 8. Y-intercept, 4. And there you have it. We have just asked the user for a lot of input, and we've made them an equation for them. So if you're bad at graphing or just started off, this program might help you. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. That was exercise 1.1. Make sure you have it right before moving on to 1.2. We'll upload another video soon. And yeah, that's it.